All right, so today we're diving into something pretty massive. India.
Yeah, a country with, what, over a billion people?
More than 1 in 7 people on the entire planet, actually.
Wow, that puts things in perspective.
And it's not just the population size, it's the world's biggest democracy. What happens there? Well, it kind of impacts all of us.
Right, those ripples spread far and wide.
Exactly. So we're going deep on this report about how India is doing on those, the big global goals, the Sustainable Development Goals.
SDGs?
Yeah, the SDGs. 17 of them.
Yeah.
All the UN countries signed on back in 2015.
Ambitious.
Super ambitious. End poverty, fight hunger, fix climate change, the whole 9 yards. A blueprint for a better world by 2030. TikTok.
Not a whole lot of time left.
Nope. And this report, the State of India's Environment 2025, it's painting, kind of a mixed picture.
It uses both UN and Indian government data, tries to give a clear snapshot of where things stand.
And ranking?
109th out of 167 countries.
Not exactly top of the class.
No, but it's actually 3 spots higher than last year.
A little progress.
Their overall score is 63.9%.
Below the global average, which sits at 67%.
Right, but we have to factor in the sheer scale of the challenges India faces. Huge population, diverse, complex, social, and economic landscape.
Yeah, not an easy task. Now, there are 9 SDGs where India is trailing behind. Some pretty big ones, too.
Like ending hunger, ensuring good health and well-being for everyone, achieving gender equality, even access to clean water and sanitation. Basic stuff, really.
What's going on there? Why the struggle?
Okay, so take hunger. India's made some strides in cutting poverty and boosting food security lately.
That's good, at least.
It is. But then you've got stubborn pockets of deep poverty, climate change messing with things, and resources just not being shared fairly.
A whole knot of issues.
Well, that's what's so tricky about the SDGs. They're all interconnected.
Right, so poor sanitation leads to more disease.
Which then impacts productivity, slows economic growth, widens inequality. It's a domino effect.
So we've talked about the downsides,
Uh-huh.
but there are some bright spots, too, right?
Definitely. Some states in India are really shining.
Uttarakhand, for example, they're scoring almost 80%.
Pretty impressive.
What's their secret?
Well, if you compare the top performers, places like Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, to the lower-ranked states like Bihar, you see some patterns.
Okay, like what?
Big investments in education, healthcare, infrastructure,
Makes sense.
and good governance, efficient social programs. Those tend to go hand in hand with higher SDG scores.
So it's not just about throwing money at the problem.
Nope, it's about using it wisely.
Why can't other states just copy what's working in these high achievers?
It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Each state has its own context, its own unique set of challenges and resources.
Right, what works in the mountains of Uttarakhand might not fly in, say, Bihar.
Exactly. Different geographies, different levels of development, different social dynamics. Solutions need to be tailor-made.
Okay, so we've covered India's progress, the hurdles they face, some signs of hope. But why should this matter to, our listeners? It's happening over there. How does it affect us?
It's a good question to ask. Look, in this globalized world we live in, issues like poverty, inequality, and climate change, they don't just stay put.
They're borderless.
Exactly. So how India fares on these SDGs, it has implications for all of us.
Give us some concrete examples. How does it actually touch our lives?
Think of the global economy. India is a big player. Their growth, their demand for goods and services, it affects markets worldwide.
Right.
Their fight against climate change, their investments in renewable energy, that impacts everyone's fight against environmental damage.
Okay, I see the connection there.
And don't forget innovation. India is a hotbed for tech breakthroughs. The solutions they come up with for their own problems could end up helping people all over the world.
It's like a butterfly effect, in a way.
Precisely. What happens in India doesn't stay in India. It's all connected. And that's why these SDGs matter so much. They remind us that we're all in this together. Working together is the only way to create a future that's sustainable and fair for everyone.
It can feel kind of overwhelming, to be honest. These issues are huge. What can one person even do?
I get that. But remember, small actions, when multiplied by millions, can make a real difference.
So what can we do?
Well, be mindful of your consumption habits. Support companies that are trying to do things sustainably. Advocate for policies that align with these goals. Every bit counts.
So make conscious choices, use our voices to push for change.
Exactly. And maybe even more importantly, stay informed, stay engaged. The more we understand these complex issues, the better equipped we are to find solutions and build that future where everyone can thrive.
Lots to think about. This deep dive has given us plenty to chew on. And for you listening out there, we'll leave you with this question. Knowing what you now know about India's journey and how interconnected these goals are, what role do you see yourself playing in this global effort to build a more sustainable future? It's a challenge, no doubt, but it's one we face together.